Thank you so much. We started as a COVID baby. Our objective is to create more awareness about alternative therapies and alternative healing. We have various webinars, programs, and workshops, all backed by alternative medicine and alternative healing. We do various webinars over the past 5 years during COVID. We've done close to 2,000 plus webinars in the last 5 years. Our community is 30,000 plus people across 18 different countries in the world. We just had one of our most beautiful meetups in Netherlands last week. We had my friend and brother Claes over there, and we are really amazed to see how the universe has helped us build this beautiful, beautiful community. And we have Claes in house today to talk to us about constellations and love relationships. Claes is a dear friend. He's become a brother over the various years that we worked together. Thank you for spotlighting that, Aishwarya. And Claes is based in Netherlands. We both were introduced by a common teacher, Marion Boone, when she told us that Claes is also a constellator and a past life regression therapist. I studied past life regression in Netherlands, and that's how Claes and I got to know each other through our common school. A little bit about Claes is that in the year 2000, he learned constellations. He's been in the alternative healing space for a very long time. He was introduced to constellations in the year 2000, so almost 25 years of family constellation experience and organization constellation experience. He's worked with alongside Bert Hellinger. Last week, he shared something really interesting with me. He said he hated reading 25 years back, and he realized the best way to learn the modality is to figure out to translate the books, because then he has no other option but to read the books. So he started translating Bert Hellinger's books from German to Dutch. And that's how he really understood more about constellations and learned it. He's come to India 5, 6 times already, and he's going to be coming once again in the year 20 in June of this year. He teaches family constellations. When he's in India, he also does individual constellations. We invite him to share his expertise and wisdom, or of the different of different areas of life and how constellations can help with that. Today we've got a very interesting theme. We're talking about constellations and love relationships. I always find it interesting when I see so many different people in Zoom. We're seeing people who are single, people who are married, people who've been married for many, many years, and people who are yet wanting to find the right life partner, people who are stuck with the wrong life partner and trying to make that person the right life partner. Rosina and I shared something very interesting with each other a couple of weeks back. Rosina is my wife, and I'm sure most of you know her. She's also the co-founder at Joining Hands. She said something really interesting. She says, Hitesh, in my life, you're the person who gives me the most triggers. So if I had to, look at the perpetrator of my life, it's you. But you're also the person who has also helped me heal so much in my life. So a love relationship is a very important relationship. I think it's also interesting because it's one of the relationships that you choose. You don't choose your parents at a conscious level. You don't choose your children at a conscious level. But this is a relationship, at least you think you're choosing at a conscious level. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So hi, Claes, welcome.
Hello.
Did I introduce you well? Did I give a good background about you?
I will add something that I like what you said.
Sorry, I can't. Yeah, I can hear you. So, Claes, I'm in your beautiful country. I've been enjoying this. Let me show everyone where I am. I'm in a beautiful city called Delft. How do I reverse this camera? Yeah. I'm here at the church, and this is where we just saw a marriage take place right now. So two beautiful souls, hopefully tied together for this life, or if not, at least for a couple of years.
It
So
looks very empty, and the big building on the square is the city house, the city hall of Delft.
yes,
Delft is
this one.
Delft is not a very big city, but it's a very historical city with a beautiful center. Yeah. And there's also the church on the other side of
That's
the
behind. The new
yeah,
church is behind me.
Christian church behind you. So the people can go have their Christian marriage on one side of the square, and then go to, or the other way around, go to the city hall and get married for the law as well.
Yes. So, Claes, Benifer is going to be leading this and asking you questions. But I just have one key question to begin with, and then, we can hand it over to Benifer. Why is it, and this is from your experience of working with so many clients, why is it that having a love interest or a love relationship is so important for us? How does it impact us? And how does it serve us?
Yeah, that's a good question. But let me first introduce myself a little bit, and then tell what the next hour will be about and how we will go with it. And then come back to your question. So, good evening, everybody. It's an afternoon in the Netherlands, and it's an evening in India. I'm very happy that so many of you have joined and are interested in having love relationships, because I think they're really, really important in your life. Um, I have been in family constellations, yes, for the last 25 years, and I'm for the last 35, 40 years, I've been into personal transformation. Of course, like every healer, I've been a wounded healer, and I have come from a family that was quite dysfunctional and poor in connecting with each other, and I have not had the example and uh, of of intimacy between my parents, and I have not seen so much. I don't have a remembrance of of an intimate relationship with both of my parents in a way that it was emotional, rewarding, and I think learning from family constellations, that has been causing a lot of adventures and ups and downs in the love relationships that I had in my own life. So I found the connection. At least I think I found a few uh, triggers that are influencing and have been influencing my intimate and love relationships in my own life. Um, and also because I have a mother who was bipolar and has been hospitalized in psychiatric hospital for, I think, for as far as I know, nearly once a year. That brought me also on the path of finding how mental health works and what influences your own mental health in your life and your relationship with emotions, with relationship, intimacy, etc., etc. And I think just as a biological species, humans are destined to have a long-term relationship, or at least have a few long-term relationships in their lives. You can feel how much it hurts when a long-term relationship, and how hard it is to quit a long-term relationship, and it feels almost like it's against nature. And at the same time, a long-term relationship has we get entangled in long-term relationships, and we get entangled in our own judge judge judgments about it, and the judgmental, the I don't know the English word, of our partners. So um, being and feeling really free in a love relationship, feeling loved and being able to love each other, that's not something that you can take for granted. And that's something that you have to work on all the time during your relationship. And you are influences by a lot of conscious and unconscious influences from your own childhood, from even what you have inherited from your parents and your ancestors. And also, you had examples, good or bad, and consciously or unconsciously, you are repeating these patterns and you are looking and longing for partners and for relationship that you have known from your own childhood. Um, so copying that, you have to be at least you have to acknowledge how it was and how the examples were in your childhood, to let go of the expectations based on what you met in your own childhood, and at the same time so you choose your own path in your love life, and at the same time you you should acknowledge the unconscious influences on relating and mostly relating in your love life. So acknowledging what went wrong and what were the secrets of your parents and how they dealt with love life and the pain and the traumas that your parents had and that you had in your early childhood. Acknowledging is a way to get a more healthy love life. Um, Now I'm already talking about some dynamics that rose and that have been that rose to me that I learned from my own clients in the Netherlands and from my own constellations, and also some dynamics that I read in the books about family constellations, especially in the books that I translated because um, I read these books a little bit slower and I really had to chew on every sentence there. Um, but to get some structure, maybe Binaifa, maybe you have got some questions for me?
Yes, Class. So I do have some questions, and post this, we will also open up to a few questions from our audience today. So you can hold on to your questions. Okay, somebody's message, the voice is fading for Class. It is absolutely clear for me. So maybe you can check at your end. Okay, so Class, the first question is, how can family constellations help identify and resolve any unconscious patterns which are affecting my relationship?
Okay, that's a good general question. It's nice to see so many faces of people that have been in the school and have been and are still learning family constellations. People that have been in the individual constellations with me, and also it's always nice to see new faces again. So I'm happy to see you. Um, you know, family intimate relationships are influenced by the most dynamics that you can imagine. You and you need family constellations to find out what are the most important, the most influential dynamics on your love life, on a healthy love life. And to find out which dynamic is most relevant for you, it's hard to explain and to find out in a conversation with people. And it's much easier to find out in a family constellation. In a family constellation, you just put your relationship with the people that have influenced you, could have influenced you, you put it up in the field, and you have stand ins for your father, your mother, your siblings, maybe your grandparents and some uncles, and maybe the other important, significant others of your mother and your father, and maybe even when you know of the secret relationships of your parents and your grandparents and your half brothers and sisters or your brothers and sisters who didn't make life, because that all can influence how you relate to your love partner, your significant other in this time. Um, you start with putting up in a family constellation your relationship with your mother, because very often that's the most significant influence. But it can also be the father and his significant other, and different from your mother, who is a secret, but a secret that still and during your upbringing had the heart of your father, had the love of your father. And when your father was not present for you in a loving way or in a fatherly way, maybe his heart went out to some other direction. And to find out, you really need a family constellation by yourself. And also, your relationship with your siblings is a way that you have been rehearsing loving connections and relationships with your siblings. And when one of your siblings has not been there or has been not able to relate to you in a natural way, you bring that in your backpack towards your later relationship, and you can go and repeat the mistakes that your brother or your sister did with you, or that you did with your brother and your sister. So there are so many influences that I think you really need a family constellation, and it can really work out, because the way out is acknowledging how it is and finding where your heart was not able to reach your mother, your father, your sibling, to open it up to them first before you can, so you can open it up to your own partner a little bit in a deeper way. Was that an answer to your question? Was that enough,
Yes,
Binay?
perfect, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you.
I'm so sorry, Vinny, to interrupt. Sorry,
Yeah,
class. But we have received a few messages saying that the voice is a little low from classes in. So, class, if in case you're using a microphone, could you just move the microphone a bit closer to yourself, or it could just be louder?
I'm not using a microphone, and I'm already as loud as I can, I think. I First thing I'm doing now is getting my laptop closer to my mouth. I hope that works.
I hope
yeah.
that solves the issue for many of you. Okay, Vinny, you can move on to the next question.
Thank you. So, class, my next question was, can family constellations reveal the hidden dynamics or loyalties impacting my love life?
It That is possible, and in family constellations, unfortunately, there are no guarantees uh, uh, for anything. So it's an experimental method. And usually, when you do a family constellation, you find out entanglements, you find out loyalties that are dysfunctional, and you find out where you can get support from. So it's the aim of family constellations, and it's possible, but it's never a given. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
well,
My next question is, how does family constellation address the intergenerational trauma or patterns which influence our relationship?
so this is all about family constellations, and the way to address these is, when you do a family constellation, you all sit in a circle, and there's one client who says, I have influence, I have a question about my present life, and life is hurting me on in this moment, and I'm struggling with a certain part of my life, for instance, your relationship. And then we ask people who can represent the important people of your past. And most of all, that's why it's called family constellations, family members from the past. You were all born in a family. It was the first most significant system that you were born in when you were completely open. In the first 9 months, you shared your hormones, your blood, the way of thinking with your mother in the womb. This influence cannot be overestimated. It's really important. And then you were born, and in the first 6 years, in the first 2 years of your life, you had influences completely open, and you did not have any verbal reaction to it, a way to put it in perspective. Was no comparison with somebody else. You were completely influenced by it. And at the same time, your mother and your father were um, influencing you in a way that you bonded with them, that you got loyal with how they were. So you were formed very deeply, you were programmed, you were socialized. I hope most of the time in a positive way. But your parents had trauma as well. Your parents were young, 20, 30, maybe 35, but usually closer to 20 than to 30 in these generations before us. So they didn't know how to raise a child, and they even were not able to know how to live and to make um, good decisions in life. They were struggling with their love life, and they showed you that. And while struggling through your love life, at the same time, they had a mistress or a secret lover, and their heart and their thought and their mind was closer to them than to you and to your mother. And that's a taboo, but it was an influence. Children always know on a deeper level what's happening, that their parents are present or not present in the relationship, and somehow you know they are faking, or they're real. So you are deeply influenced in that. And then your siblings think you are a puppet, or are unconsciously jealous at you because you get too much love and they get too little love, or you are a threat because you came 2 years later and the parents that they need so much are only looking at you, or the other way around. You get a younger sister or a brother. All these, and your parents are only looking at them. All these dynamics are influencing your love life. Even finding a partner, being able to have intimacy with a partner, and that, of course, also influences your sexual relationship with yourself and with your partner. So there are deep influences, and it's very hard to solve that without a family constellation, just by words. And there are things you can do, but a family constellation are things so you can see these loyalties and these unconscious influence on your life. The things you can do is connect with your heart, think of your mother, and feel if your heart warms up or cools down. If you feel judgments coming up, if you if there is still something that you blame of them, and see if you can let go of your blame and let go and understand that your parents were very young when they raised you, and they were full of trauma of their own childhood when they were raising you. And start with your mother and see if you can change your relationship with her. Still, the relationship not in your mind and in your past, but in your heart, how you feel it right now when you connect with your mother. And if you've done that, how do you feel it in your heart at this moment when you think of your father? Can you feel that it's a free form of love? or do you feel that you need to feel a certain way about him, or can you really connect with your father? Can you really feel a warm feeling in your heart when you have him? And the hard part of it is, be honest. Is it because you need to, or is it a free? Is it really warmth in your heart, or is it a necessity to not speak negative about them? And then you do the same with your siblings, and then you know and you remember how much it hurts. It still hurts when there have been sexual harassments, when people have crossed the limits of liking you or having using you for their own lust. And how can you let go? Can you let go? Just a question. Can I let go of that, or is it still there? If you cannot let go, can I at least acknowledge that that's my backpack and all trauma that I bring into my relationship? That's my part of it. And this is all influencing not only the ability to have a significant partner, but also the ability to love my present partner. And what do you bring in yourself into your love life, into your relationship with your partner at this moment? Um, that's what you can do at this moment in life.
Thank you so much. The next question is, can family constellations help me understand attachment styles and improve relationship dynamics?
Yeah, but that's more or less the same question. And of course, family constellations is one of the best ways that I can remember of improving your the relationship with your partner outside of that you just do and invest in it by yourself without any form of value. So the responsibility stays with you. Invest in your love life. And the responsibility stays with you. Talk with your partner. Be honest about your own negative contribution and your expectations that you bring into your life. And if you can't find it, if you are not able to forgive and to love, if you find the hurdles and you don't know where to look, then a family constellation is a place that can help you identify where the entanglements are in the way of the flow of love. That that's the main thing, and then you can acknowledge what has happened in the past, and you can acknowledge the importance of it, so you can let go, and you can go back to the flow, or at least be honest about your own contribution in a negative way between you and your partner, or between you and the inability to find a partner, instead of only, and uh, sometimes it's relevant, it's okay, and it's normal to be angry with your partner, because partners are not available. But to become objective about it and really feel that your anger is a righteous anger, for that you need to talk, you need to listen, not only to your partner, but also to yourself, to your own heart, and to your own past. Relating is really 360 degrees of listening. Listen to yourself, listen to your partner, see how others react on you. It really uh, connect and understand about yourself and yourself in every direction.
Thank you so much. The next question is, how can family constellations support healing from past relationship traumas or emotional wounds?
Yeah. So in family constellations, you can also put up the partners, the significant partners, and the partners that you were completely in love with, but were not responding to it. So it didn't become a relationship to to get representative stand-ins for all your important, significant others. The ones that you've been in love with, the ones that you have had relationship with, etc., etc., and the ones that you have married or have been in a love relationship for a long time, and maybe they have died, maybe you divorced, maybe there was another one for your partner, for your spouse, or for yourself, and to look them in the eyes is impossible in real life very often, but it's to look in the eyes of someone who fully stands in the energy of that former life partner is possible in a family conflict. So you look them in the eyes and you let go. You say thank you. You thank the other for their influence on your life, for their presence in your life, for the ability to uh, to hurt or to raise your feelings for them, to reach your heart. You thank them for them, and then if when you acknowledge and you bow for their influence in your life, you can let go. The ritual of bowing to somebody is to really connect, look in their eyes, and then to let go of the connection, of the eye contact, and let go of the other. And then you come back and you look at them again without the charge of the emotional relationship that you had with them. And then you can let go and open your heart. So a new form of love, a new relationship that can fill the space that you made for that.
That makes sense. Thank you so much. The next question is, can family constellations help identify and break negative relationship patterns?
At least they can contribute to it. You can acknowledge that there were negative um, influences on the relationship and negative patterns by acknowledging that you were repeating a pattern between your parents or between you and one of your parents, between you and siblings. And when you acknowledge it and you somehow bow for it, take it, see it, letting it go, then you make space in your heart and in your own behavior to do differently as a client of a family constellation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And it's
Um,
all this all
yeah.
online only because this is really a form of so important in your own life, how
Mhm.
to relate to others and how to have a love life and how to learn to learn to get to know yourself on such an intimate and deep level. You need the mirror in intimate love relationships to grow on that level. Therefore, you need these kind of relationships, and to improve it, talking about it is just such a small step toward living it, and but also to find out what's your personal influence and dynamics, and therefore you really need constellations and to join a constellation or do a similar kind of a method of doing that. But you need to go into the process, like when you start a relationship. Talking about intimate relationships is not enough. Somehow you have to tell somebody, but I really, really, really like you, and I really want to date you, and I really want to get more intimate with you. I would really love that, to have the courage and to feel the natural way of taking that step and doing it is completely different than only talking about it. So talking is okay, but let it be a step into talking to your partner or improving your love life. And that's a completely different action to take.
Got it. Thank you. How does family constellation promote self-awareness and emotional intelligence in a relationship?
Yeah. Every family constellation shows you how you are, because your representative is somebody else that stands in your line, how you are on a soul level relating to your intimate and significant others, your parents, grandparents, past relationships, people that were very influential on your life. And this mirror is so important to get to know yourself, because we are not alone on this world. We are our relationships. We are um, we are the system that we are living with and that we are living in. That's both in your job as in your personal life. You are the a part of the system, and without the others, there's not even a person anymore. There's no knowing of place and time. You need others for it. So a family constellation is a beautiful mirror of how you behave in a network of people, in a system. And when you get to know that and you feel how you on the soul level are relating, that makes you more free, and also it makes it easier to take responsibility for your life and your relationships, because you get the ability to do it in a more conscious way.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is, can family constellations help me understand and improve communication in my relationship?
Yes, the best way is to just start and ask your partner. But you, when you've done a when you are doing a family constellation and put, for instance, ask a representative for your own partner, then you can see from a little distance how you are looking at your partner and how you are feeling about your partner. And then from that little distance, that helicopter perspective, you can come up with a different way of approaching your partner. Because from seeing yourself from a little distance relating to your partner, you get a confrontation with how you are looking at your partner. Are you judgmental? Are you taking the partner as it is? Are you taking a distance? Are you taking a place of safety or control towards your partner? Or are you really giving yourself? Are you really surrendering and taking part of the love and of the love flow that's going between you? And if you see that you are taking a little distance, taking control, are hesitant to give yourself, then you've seen it in the constellation first before you make the damage in the relationship. Or after you made the damage in the relationship, then you know why. And then you can change.
Got
So
it.
you
Thank you.
change old patterns. But you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. How can family constellations support creating healthier boundaries and expectations in love relationships?
Can you repeat the question? I did not fully understand.
How can family constellations support creating healthier boundaries and expectations in love relationships?
Yeah. So creating boundaries should have been something that you have seen mostly and learned from your father.
Okay.
Fathers are, for children, automatically some kind of a biological influence is there. Your father shows you boundaries, gives you structure in your life. So if you are unable to hold your boundaries, look at the relationship to your father first. When he has not been able, then acknowledge it and then remember somehow if there were other father figures in your youth. And the second is, if you cannot hold your boundaries, it can be influenced by somebody that did not respect your boundaries at all in your life before you. And you have been damaged because of people going over your boundaries, coming too close. And they have not only hurt you in that moment, but they have hurt your uh, natural relationship with your boundaries at all. They made you insecure on how to hold your boundaries. They made you insecure to say no. They made you insecure to confront them. I don't like it, what you're doing. So you have to go, and that's really something from family constellations and regression therapy. You have to go face the wounds of the past because they influenced you. You can not only ask the universe, God, or your higher self to release and take away the symptoms. It's not enough to just connect and try to solve the symptoms. You have to go to where the trauma has really come to you and the people that should have raised you in a healthy way where they were not able to do it, and to acknowledge where things went wrong in your past, where you were really hurt in the past, or where you have been hurting others as a result and feel guilty about it or insecure about it. You're being a perpetrator of this violent or crossing boundaries or limits of somebody else. And you have to face it, and you have to take responsibility for it by acknowledging it before you let go of your guilt. And it's shame and guilt are two very negative influences on freedom and responsibility in your present. So both as a victim or as a perpetrator in your own past, you have influenced your present state and ability to connect in a love life. Yeah.
Thank you. The last question is, can family constellations facilitate forgiveness, letting go, and healing in relationships?
Yeah, of course. But also you have family constellations can solve and can solve nothing at the same time. Because a family constellation itself, seeing yourself and other people taking the energy of your significant others, of the sexual and love relationship you had in your own past, taking the energy of your parents and seeing that and taking the mirror, that's one thing. But a family constellation, nothing is solved on the field. Everything is only solved here. So you have to take the family constellation with your eyes, with your heart, with your own emotions, and you have to really let it in with your attention. Everything, every form of healing is healing because your response is now I take it. Now I acknowledge it. Now I really feel the pain that I was not allowing myself to feel when it occurred in this historical moment of pain, of trauma, of not being present of my sibling or my father or my mother. And if you take it here and you take the responsibility, and then you can say, okay, I see in the field that my rep is forgiving, is letting go. I go with my feelings together with my own stand-in, with my rep. I let go. I forgive. And that opens you up. And that can heal your heart. But every healing in the end is a healing that you do yourself for yourself by taking it. So the responsibility stays with you, and nobody, no one else can do that in your place. And very often people are afraid of family constellations because it's so confrontational. So I like to tell these people, yes, it is. It is scary, and it opens the door of Pandora into what you've seen. Only when you go to it, it's usually pain for half an hour, maybe 5 minutes only. And then when you have allowed yourself for that, the rest of your life, you are free on that little subject, on the thing that you've asked for. So the investment of really going and seeing it always gives you, oh, it was not as bad as I thought, because it hurt and it hurt deeply. But after 5 minutes or even sooner, I already felt the relief also and the release. So it's really worth it to go and do that. And people really say, "Oh, have I not been able to had I done that 5 years ago or 10 years ago, then the last 5 or 10 years of my life would have been so much better." So take a chance with a family constellation.
Thank you so much, Claes. I'll be taking a few questions from the chat. So Dipti has asked, are there any acknowledging or liberating statements that we can use on a day-to-day basis to find closure from a breakup?
Yes, the sentences that you use in family constellations after you have a breakup is, thank you for everything that you brought to me. Thank you for your gifts, your love, and your lessons, and the lessons I learned. And find more things to thank the partner for. Thank you for making very clear where my real pain has been and opening my wounds, because now I can really feel them and I can heal them. Now I know. And now I let you go. And you finish with, now I let you go. Maybe you need to say to the other one in your mind, now I forgive you for everything else, but you already did because you thanked the other one for opening and making your wounds clear and your traumas clear, where you are vulnerable. And that's already a way of forgiving the other, thanking him or her for all the hurt that they did. But don't forget to thank them also for the love that they gave you, for the ears that they gave you, for the respect that they gave you, for the good things. Even at the end of a relationship, when you are in a breakup, you can go back to the good things and acknowledge what you got from the relationship. So thanking and letting go are the most important sentences that you can use.
Thank you so much. Dipti, I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Veluri. Pallavi, can a mother seek healing through constellations to help her children heal their love and relationship, especially when children are skeptical?
It depends on the age of your children, because you are hurting your children when you take charge of their emotional life after they are 19 or 20 or so. You have to let your children go, and you have to start letting them go already when they are 14 or 15 years old. They start falling in love with classmates. They start having friends. They start having influences from life itself. And if you keep on taking charge of their emotional state in that period, then you're not letting them go, and you're not teaching them to take responsibility for whatever they got from their family origin. But before that, and of course, that's a period between 12 or 14 and 19, and before that, it's a good thing to be conscious about your influence as a mother and take responsibility for it. That means that uh, a way to take responsibility for it is to take the confrontation from a family constellation, to take the mirror of what you have been contributing in a positive and also in a negative way as a parent. And a family constellation is especially a good way to find your mirrors, to find your confrontation with yourself, and to acknowledge and to let go. So, yes, you can do that.
Thank you. Next question is from Srinivas. I think his question was when you were talking about something else. How to handle a situation when your partner is not even ready to get into a discussion or is being too judgmental?
First thing you do is when you are alone, you close your eyes, you fill yourself with love, and you send that love to your partner. And you do that twice a day. Because then you're not returning the burden of being judgmental about the being judgmental of your partner. And you you fill yourself up with love and you send it to your partner. That's the first thing. And you do that for a week or two, twice a day. And every time you see your partner, you give him or her a smile because you filled yourself with love for the other one. Because when a partner is unable to talk to you, then there are two main reasons: guilt and shame. So when you've done that and they see your smile and they somehow feel and sense your love, they might open up to their own vulnerability, and it will be able to at least talk to them a little bit. They might let go of some of their judgments. And if you don't make it, then do a family counseling. Because behind that guilt or shame are, of course, all kind of historical trauma, um, an unsafe relationship he had before, or unsafe relationship traumas and influences from his parent. You brought your own systemical burdens, loyalties, and pain in a relationship. Your partner has done the same. And it has hurt your partner as well as it has hurt, as your history has hurt you. So don't return your partner the favor or the burden with being judgmental about him or her because it's unable to talk, but invest in love and invest in getting clarity on the entanglements and stay positive yourself.
Thank you so much, Claes. Before I move on to the next question, I just want to make an announcement that Claes is going to be coming to India in August to teach his 7th batch. We've had 7 successful batches. We're going to start the 7th batch. So we are starting on the 12th of August. Aishwarya is sharing the screen about the program. So if you are interested in joining us and learning, it's a 3-module program starting in August. Module 1, we are starting on the 12th. Then our module 2 is in January, starting 17 January. And our 3rd module is starting on the 21st of June. So there are 3 modules to this, and we have all the info up on our website. But for more, if you have any question answers, you can feel free to reach out to me and I'll explain everything. No, Srinivas, unfortunately, we have nothing in USA currently. But Claes comes down to Mumbai and he teaches here. So I think I'll share my number also. So you can reach out to me and ask all. Yeah, my number is here. You can directly reach out to me. And if you have any feedback or sharing or anything about joining hands, you can also reach out on the other number, which also we'll be just sharing. So here you can see our other programs about business constellation, which is also starting in in July. We recently launched Karmic Constellations also, and tomorrow will be the 3rd week, and now upcoming is Business Constellation. So you can ask us.
Thank you for the announcement.
Thank you. And now, Claes, just one more question before we wrap up.
Before you ask a question, I'd like to contribute to your announcements. Is it okay?
Okay. Yes, please.
I think if you are interested in your own process doing family constellations and you've never done a family constellation before, it's good to join an in-person family constellation. There are people that are here in the field that I have been teaching family constellations that do in-person family constellations and announce that through joining hands in Mumbai and other places in India. So it would be nice to experience family constellations yourself. I will be in Mumbai from July, from the beginning of July, and do some individual constellations. But there are many possibilities in Mumbai and other cities to do it with one of the people that have been learning family constellations in the last year. And if you've already done some family constellations and would like to learn how to facilitate family constellations, there is a very intense 8-9 month program in which we have 3 modules of teaching you how to facilitate family constellations. I will be teaching you 3 times 5-6 days, and in between you need to, and you are connected with your other participants to facilitate systemic constellations, smaller and bigger yourself, and you will be supported to be in the role of a facilitator before the last module is finished, so you can really start facilitating after the education. And it takes a big investment of you if you do it. It's not something you can just learn online, or because it's quite a responsibility to do it. But we have a whole team and we supporting you to become a good facilitator if you join my program. So BNIFA is very important for me to coordinate that and make people do their homework and read their books, etc., and start facilitating together with each other and with clients, etc. But it's really a program for me which is important to bring with a big. I've got something with when I do it. I want it to be really of quality, and it's a big responsibility. So I want you to be good and able to start your family constellations without hurting and re-traumatizing your clients. That's what I want to ask. And the other
Thank you
programs
so much.
are also interesting.
Yes, thank you. So if you want to attend any constellations, either in person or online, you can also reach out to me and we'll guide you on the process for the same. Thank you so much. I'll take one last question, which was from Ritika. Can you narrate examples of some constellations that revealed hidden patterns and how they were resolved?
The answer is no. I forget all the time. I forget the constellations that I've been facilitating. But there are many people that were in my group. Maybe they can remember how they have resolved these patterns. So ask somebody else. It's important for me to start every new constellation with a with clean sheet. So when I've done a constellation, I've taught myself to forget everything, and then others have written about it, and then I read it. I read about my work as if I read it about somebody else. But maybe other people that were in my constellations or um, have been facilitating constellations can answer that question. That would be nice.
Ritika, I feel you need to be in the field and you need to experience the constellations in case you've not. So feel free to reach out to me and I'll definitely get you added where the people are taking constellations, where you have a first-hand experience, because it's very difficult to make you understand how a pattern is revealed. But if you're there in the constellation and if you've attended it, it's easier to it's easier to understand and absorb what has just happened. Am I right, Claes?
Yes. In general, you can say, for me, when I did a family constellation about, especially when I was with the relationship with my mother, I did a family constellation myself about that a relationship. I had burn wounds because of neglect of my mother on my breast and my arm. And that was when I was 8 or 9 months old. And then I did a constellation facing my mother, and she acknowledged in the constellation, her stand-in acknowledged that she has not been attentive at that moment because she was with her mind in a different world. I cried about it. I could not when I was 8 months old, but it was not long, 2, 3 months later, I had my first significant relationship with somebody else. So there was a direct connection between what happened between me and my mother when I was not even 1 year old, I think, and my ability to have a love relationship, myself, because there was such a short time between it. I think I don't know how it happened, but it was very natural at that moment. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Thank you, Claes. A very short question. Is family constellation a psychotherapy or an energy healing modality?
Both.
Thank you so much. Simmer has a question. She is also a student. Once you see and understand the shortcomings of your parents, how do you deal with it so that you don't call in the ego of feeling better or superior as compared to parents?
You bow for them. So everybody is vulnerable. Everybody has a history, and you don't feel better than them. You feel there is a person behind it with good intentions, and you see them, and you see it, look in their eyes from grown up to a grown up. You are grown up, you make your own mistakes, and you acknowledge them in the family constellations. They are grown up, 20, 30 years older than you are. They have made mistakes in the past of which you bear your consequences. But behind that, there's also still a love relationship to be acknowledged. They have loved you, and you have loved them, and everybody that that you have loved in your life is still in your heart, and you can find that relationship back in your own heart, and then you can acknowledge, you've hurt me, but you are my mother at the same time, and therefore I forgive you, and I still love you also. I love you and I hate you at the same time, and I hate you for what you did, and I love you for who you are and and what our relationship is. So you never allow yourself to be in a place of arrogance of feeling better than your parent.
Thank you so much, Claes, and thank you everybody for being here tonight. We shall see you soon.
Oh, we're finishing. Okay.
Yes, we are done. All the question answers are done.
I'm very grateful for everybody that's still here in the seminar. And if you want to connect with me directly about this subject of family constellations, etc., you can see my number here, and you can reach me via Benaifa, and you can reach me preferably on WhatsApp also. I'm always there. I love to be teaching and facilitating constellations in Mumbai. So I'm very grateful that you are interested in this field. And I also feel there's so much trauma that's not necessary to carry on the rest of your lives. And there's so much to give and so much to resolve. And it's my purpose to contribute to the relief of so much trauma and so much pain that there is. So I would really like to keep on doing that and coming to Mumbai for that. And I will only teach in Mumbai in India for the time that I can oversee from now on, because I like to build a community and a place where I can come back to. Yeah. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much. Claes, Madhura has a question. If you would like to give her a minute.
Hi. Good to see you all here.
Yes,
Uh, hi. Actually, I don't have a question as such, Binay, I'm so sorry. But I have to share one thing, uh, that what I have understood from this is we have to be open-minded, and we have to accept what what we can see in family constellation, and going ahead with that approach will definitely help us to heal from within. And I think why I'm sharing this, because all the questions which we discussed, we forgot to mention that important point, that our acceptance to what we see on the field is very, very important. Because sometimes sometimes the field reveals so many things we don't expect or we don't know about. I think I learned it from
So the mirror of family constellations, it mirrors a deeper level than how you conceive reality until now. And the difference between how you have perceived reality and what you see in the family constellations, the difference is where your healing occurs. So that's how
Thank you.
the constellations is healed inside of you and not on the field where you look at. Thank you, Madhura. Vinayfa, you're on mute,
Oh,
Vinayfa.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, guys. Good night and see you soon.
Yes. Thank you all. See you on WhatsApp. See you live from in July, August.
Thank you, Claes. Bye. See you soon.